All right, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 27 of the Friendlyjordies podcast.
It's so rare that you'll be the one trying to get everyone excited, Robbie. You're usually like the dead fish.
Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? You're always the one that's hungry over there.
We are less in the mood to do this pod than a dead fish. It's official. And Robbie used the same strategy that a lot of my parents' friends I found out did to their kids when they would refuse to smile for a Christmas photo, and they'd be like, "Come on, kid, smile, smile," and then they wouldn't. So then they'd just start yelling at the kids, "Poo wee bum bum bum, willy willy bum bum bum, peace peace bum bum." And they're like, "Ah!"
And then resort to saying, "Come on, we're mates, right? we're mates, aren't we, son?
That's great.
Give me a smile."
Even his very vulgar hand gestures and, might I say, potty mouth didn't murk any smile from us at all. And straight after that, Robbie went into very desperate mode super quickly. And welcome.
Yeah, hey, how's everyone going out there?
You're there as well, Robbie? Great.
Yeah, hello.
Cool.
What's the name of this one again?
This segment,
This pod.
the pod, Tom's tight little ass. I don't know what is
Okay.
it.
Hey, it's Tom's tight little ass edition 27. You said it. Your words. You're the one with the spreadsheet. We'll take that as
So the first segment today is called Tom's tight little ass, true or false.
We should probably explain to everybody out there why we're so relaxed. And if you want to be as relaxed as we are right now, we have a special meditation absolutely free on our second audio channel on SoundCloud. That's the one that everyone chucks all their crap on FBI.
Yeah.
We do the same now because we're one of them.
Thanks, FBI.
He's here. Yes, there is a 40-minute meditation that was supposed to go for 15 minutes, but I challenge you to get out of that and say that it felt like 40 minutes. Now, obviously, a lot of you are going to say that, so it was pretty easy to feel that one.
Yeah, so we've just been sitting here with our eyes closed, close to being asleep for 40 minutes, and it was a very amazing experience, but I don't know if we're really in the right mood or mindset for this, but...
Yes, for the first time, I have not been in this pod thinking like, "Shit, you're losing him, put out your penis." Yeah, so this is going to be a really... Maybe we should just call this the Chillax episode.
The calm edition.
The calm edition.
No, Tom's tight little ass has a better ring to it. Let's keep it at that. So instead of walking into the Tree of Life in audio form, we are instead walking into Mickey's porno store. Straight next door. Because Tom, for the rest of this pod, two things have emerged. We have found both of Tom's biggest insecurities in life, and we're here to exploit them. We have discovered over several weeks... He hasn't shut up about it. He's constantly putting in little tidbits about how he's trying to improve his diet slightly without making too much of a commitment to us about specific details of just like, "Oh, I should probably start eating better. What do you got to eat better?" "I don't know, but I had Macca's for breakfast."
Yeah,
With the general gist.
Yeah, I started a touch football team, so I'm trying. Yeah.
So they go once a week to touch footy, and Tom might not go back. He was the one that started it because he's angry that Robbie, he put his wallet in there and he was about to cancel all of his cards. And it was in Robbie's bag the entire time, and Robbie just didn't look properly. And this, locked Tom out of his house, and he got arrested.
What?
I didn't get arrested. The security kicked me out of the...
Did they? Well, okay, to be fair, I mean, I was holding the bag. You had a look too.
Very brief look.
So did I, I mean, what you
It's your bag, Robbie.
It's your bag, man. I said
it's your wallet.
You know
Obviously, I don't
intricacies
care
of it.
as much about your wallet as you do.
Yeah, I said it's in there.
But you should care about him enough as a friend to at least have a decent check of his wallet.
You'd rather not look in your
cards.
bag than send me off to search some field at the middle of the night and get kicked out.
To be honest, I put my hand in. I didn't feel it. It was...
And you said, "I'm certain it's not there."
I never once saw you put it in there. I didn't see you put the wallet in there. I never knew it was there.
Well, it was there, so that's the end of that.
It was. So, well, I said, sorry, I should have known about that. It felt like a very ghostly addition in my bag.
Seems like Tom is doing what a lot of, there's no light way to put this, porkies do when they... not do anything anymore, which is to slowly accumulate a case of, like, it's too inconvenient, no one loves me, I'm just going to stop.
Yeah, they'll lose my wallet again. I can't do it. I can't go.
I don't want to cancel my car. Just what's going to happen if I do, I'll stag. So, to see whether Tom... And then the other one that we found out later on in the week was that Tom is very, very scared of the fact that he may have, and he won't show us, so we can't tell him if he does or not, but he might have a small ass. And we're not sure. And only his housemate will tell us, but he refuses to go on the pod anyway, so we have no proof that he has a small ass or not, and we just say, you can settle this once and for all by showing us, and he's too scared to.
No, well, what's happened is, it's been said that I have a small ass, and Robbie has been, throughout the week...
Who said it?
Wesley, our roommate.
Right.
And...
I already knew that, sorry.
Robbie has been trying all week to de-pants me, or just, like, demand that I show him my ass.
It's been a day.
It's been a couple of days.
Regardless of the time, you're still asking to see his ass a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I did,
so Robbie's
but it's been
formulated
compounded by your reticence to do so.
It's just a bit weird. I don't know, like, why you're so insistent that you want to see my ass. Like, I'll show it to you, but like,
because I'm very curious as well.
well, now
I side
Robbie's
with Robbie.
forced
Show
us
us
into
your
the
ass.
pod that there's now going to be a segment that he wants to see it so badly that there is going to be a segment now that if I fail the segment, he'll get his ultimate goal of the week, which is to look at my bum.
No, look, well, Wes stopped me.
Tom is thinking about building a business. Robbie's thinking about seeing Tom's ass.
Wes goes, oi, roll it.
Saving ass and seeing ass.
He brought it up as a topic. He goes, oi, dude, he's like, have you seen Tom's ass? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? I have to...
Anybody that saw Wes's ass, have you ever Wes saw Tom's ass? He opens up his door going, dude, do you know where the... And then Tom is naked in his room, and then he goes, shit, and jumps under the bed, and then the last piece of his body that gets under the bed somehow is his ass. So
Wes is like...
It's focusing on a lot.
Yeah, and the one thing he took away from that is like, oh my God, he's got such a small ass.
Tell them about the reason why we might not see it.
All right, so we bought a full-sized chocolate mud cake, and it's going to be like Matilda, and the challenge is, throughout the pod, I'm going to eat this entire cake, and if I can do so, I'm not a small ass, but I'm a fat ass, which means I don't have to show my skinny tight ass.
And how it's Matilda is the theory goes that in the movie Matilda, in case you haven't seen it, which you all have, don't know why I'm explaining this, but there is that fat kid that it seems great that everybody there wants him to win, and you feel happy that improves school spirit, but at the same time, he's such a little annoying tubby kid that you want him to lose, don't you?
Yeah, true. But he wins, right? He gets them.
Yeah, he gets them at the end by eating a huge chocolate cake. We do not have a huge chocolate cake, but we have one that
Still
is
quite
probably
large.
just as disgusting as the one that filthy witch made. Because this is from IGA.
It's like an IGA purchased chocolate mud cake. So anyway, I'll start now and we can just move on. I'll just eat as we go.
Yeah, and you'll be hearing a lot of that in this pod as well. So apart from three very relaxed gentlemen, it's become that relaxed that, yep, you can I can hear that in my headphones right now. That would be the constant soundtrack. Instead of Robbie's sound effects, you didn't like them? Well, how do you like the sound of somebody chewing excessively loudly and it being amplified to an abnormal level that I'm sure only dogs could otherwise hear?
All right, so we're going to talk about The Simpsons now. So everyone's been commenting in that they want to convince Robbie fully that The Simpsons is great. Robbie, what's your current thoughts on The Simpsons?
I like Hans Moleman.
Yep.
I downloaded a couple of seasons.
He
today.
doesn't like Hans Moleman. He thought... This is Robbie's understanding of The Simpsons. This is how behind he is. It's been on for 26, 27 seasons. He thinks that Hans Moleman was called Mrs. Moleman. And he thought the town they lived in was Stringfield.
One of the only characters that doesn't have any like relatives or any connections.
Really?
You just happen to pick the one and give it Mrs. Moleman from Stringfield. Stringfield. Okay, so we thought throughout the week, why not? How about we change this segment from instead of being convincing Robbie that The Simpsons is awesome,
because what we realised is. Thank you very much for posting your favourite Simpsons moments, but Robbie has access to this to Facebook as well, and he can see exactly those moments, so he can't capture his immediate response to gauge how much he likes it.
Yeah. So instead, we're just going to give just every week shout out quotes from our favourite character, who is Lionel Hutz, the lawyer,
in a segment we like to call, "Hey Robbie, what's your favourite Simpsons character? Is it Lionel Hutz?" Ours is.
I can tell you, like Abe Parsons actually tagged the Friendlyjordies Instagram. Follow that.
Abe, chief reporter from Tasmania, but is the podcast's chief reporter.
Is Abe from Tasmania?
I'm guessing because he wrote into his MP with the thing that we ask people to write to the MP. I'm too relaxed and chill to even care to know about that, and I feel really passionate about it, but that's how relaxing this meditation is. You've got to try it.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, so he
follow on Instagram, by the way, as well.
Yeah, at Friendlyjordies on Instagram.
Yeah. We just told them to do like 5 things just now. 5 things in 5 sentences. Who can keep up?
Well,
I can't. I only remember 2.
Okay.
Main thing to remember is like the Instagram and check out the meditation.
A. Parsons is officially a reporter. You need to know that. You also need to know that A. Parsons is from Tasmania.
Yeah.
What are the other highlight points? And also, I can't remember the video that he commented on, but he did comment on a video once. Okay, got that? Good. Robbie, what do you got?
Okay, so where we started was Abe commented Friendlyjordies Instagram a couple of Simpsons best moments. He did the the orange one where Homer's squeezing the orange on his eye. He's like, "There's a better
taste,
way."
Abe.
So that one,
I knew we gave you a job for something.
and I did like that clip. So thanks, Abe.
You did?
I did, and he did this one. It's a jeep going through a canyon. A Canyonero.
That's a classic.
Didn't really much care for that one, to be honest. But
really,
the orange one was good. I like the orange one.
Really?
And there's somebody did a Batman one in the comments section. And
is the orange one the Godfather parody?
Sorry,
the orange joke.
No, that's the. That is that when he's going into his eye. Troy McClure says, "Until now, this has been the best way to get juice out of an orange."
Yeah, really good. Troy McClure, he's a good character, isn't he?
That's he's our favourite character.
Oh
no, sorry, Lionel Hutz.
No, Lionel Hutz.
Troy McClure is good as well.
I feel like they're the same person almost.
They are the same person. It's the same person.
Oh.
It's Phil Hartman. I don't know what the real story is, so let me just tell you the story that I've had in my mind for 10 years that I know is incorrect.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Phil Hartman died, and by pretty sure I mean I'm certain that this didn't happen. His wife came home, saw Phil Hartman, I don't know, doing probably what Tom's eating now, doing a whole cake, right? Tough stuff?
Yeah, quarter in.
Oh, man, he's such a... All right, potential fat shit.
It's pretty hard.
Montefiore has eaten a quarter. You reckon it's difficult?
Yeah.
It's pretty large. We took a photo, so follow the Instagram to see it.
So Phil Hartman, the wife walks in, hates Phil Hartman for some reason, don't know why, stabs him, and he dies, and then he goes, "You bitch," and with his last strength, stabs her as well, and they both die in the same room. I know that's not a fact.
You told me that with such certainty. I've always believed that.
Yeah, I've told a lot of people that. That's the first time I've ever told anyone I'm not certain about it. I've always been 100% sure. Even though the back of my mind is just there's somebody just being like, "Tell the truth, it feels better." Yeah.
It will
I always
you.
have, my brain turns into a giant foot and goes, squishes that guy.
So tell me the Lionel Hutz sort of thing that you were going to...
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the point of the segment, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Thank you, Robbie.
Robbie,
Yeah.
this is the situation.
So Lionel Hutz is like the character. He's a lawyer, terrible lawyer, kind of like definitely, a bit dodgy, a bit corrupt. Mm-hmm. But The Simpsons always hire him as their lawyer.
Better Call Saul.
Right.
Sure.
A really good way to sum up Lionel Hutz's character, incredibly dodgy man, is one time he walks up to Homer, combing his hair with a fork using a fork as a comb, and then he says, "Mr. Simpson, don't you worry. I watched Matlock in a bar last night. The sound wasn't on, but I think I got the gist of it." He's about to represent him in court.
Come on, give us a laugh.
He loves it.
What's Matlock?
Matlock is the... Look, don't have long to get into this. We've spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah, let's just do the line. Don't even explain it.
We're going to have to explain a lot of other old TV shows to get this.
Yeah, just move on to the actual one.
We've got enough so many old TV shows here.
Yeah, if you didn't like that one, you will not like this one.
Lisa says to Lionel Hutz, and this is such an underrated joke, "You're modern-day Clarence Darrow." Clarence Darrow is the leading member of the American Civil Liberties Union in the 1800s, right? Like this very respected, very famous lawyer, if you're a lawyer in America, I'm assuming. You don't necessarily need to know that. Neither does Lionel Hutz, though, and he is an American lawyer, and he says, was he the black guy in the Mod Squad? Now, everybody... Right now, you must pause this pod, Google the Mod Squad, and see what the black guy is from the Mod Squad to see who Lionel Hutz mistook as Clarence Darrow. You get extra points to look up Clarence Darrow first before looking up the Mod Squad, but it is absolutely imperative that you look up the black guy from the Mod Squad. That's the first part of the joke. Second part. He's already lost.
Are you following along, Robbie?
I think this is the point to ask him. Robbie, what's your favourite Simpsons character? Is it Lionel Hutz?
Not yet.
Okay, good question to lead us on, because halfway through that sentence I was realising, shit, it's probably better to finish the joke first before I say it.
Because this second part's going to get you.
Bart then says to him, "Mr. Hutz, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer just like you." And then Lionel Hutz says, "Good for you, son. If there's one thing America needs, it's more lawyers. Could you imagine a world without lawyers?" And then there's all these people of the world, you know, an Arabic man holding hands with a Moroccan man holding hands with the Pope, all in this magical field. The sun is glistening.
Like
on
rainbows and...
And then it cuts back to Lionel Hutz and he goes,
Yeah, we're going to laugh. We're going to laugh.
"Oh, that was worth 20 minutes of your time."
Okay. Good,
All right.
good job, guys.
All right, so the next segment is something
So,
which...
how much do you love it? How much do you love it?
Do you need another week of this?
Five string fields out of 5.
Yeah.
How many string fields do you think it's worth?
4 string fields.
Really?
4 string
That's a very good
fields.
rating.
He's all right. I like him I think he's a good character. I do. Yeah.
Wow, we've convinced him that Robbie's favourite character from The Simpsons is no longer Mrs. Moleman.
I said he's
It
good.
is now Lionel Hutz.
I said he's good. I didn't say he's my favourite.
The imaginary figure, Mrs. Moleman. Hans Moleman's non-existent wife is still Robbie's favourite character. Let's stress this again. That character doesn't exist.
All right, so the next segment I don't know about, so you guys are going to have to introduce this.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
Tom?
So,
Yep.
You fat piece of shit, get excited. He's already eaten half the cake.
goodness sake, mate. Good boy.
He just doesn't care.
Big boy.
Suck that down, boy.
Big old boy.
Big old boy.
Big old boy over here.
Good boy. Got a good boy over here. Yeah, so basically, after we were telling those scary stories in the other pod, where Jordan actually, you know, he said in a funny voice, "Guys, can I stay at your house?" It turns out he actually didn't want to stay at our house, and so
Yeah, that was not a joke.
Yeah.
Repeat, that was not a joke. I actually needed to stay over at Tom and Robbie's house. It was too terrifying. Tom's ghost story, go back and listen to it, episode 25 of the pod. Could not sleep at my house. Had to ring up Tom, and Tom, the first thing that he said, being the staunch atheist that he is, was just like, "It's not real. It's not real." Okay.
Oh, was it? There's no such thing, Jordan.
And much like any mediocre dad that I'll probably complain about in counselling 20 years on, yeah, he was mean to me. He didn't accept me straight away. So then I rang up Robbie and said, can I stay over at your house? It's the same house I was allowed to stay over.
Sofa bed, which he slept on. And
then we just sat around for 2 hours doing the exact same thing that you do when you stop having sleepovers, which I'd imagine is 12. That was pretty much the last time I had one. Any other time that I've stayed over at someone's house other than that was crashing at their house, not having a sleepover. But the difference is the quality of conversation. Crashing over at someone's house is them just being so drunk that they become unconscious, they start snoring the rest of their life. You're going, should I kick him in the foot? I'm going to do it.
yeah.
This one had just the classic questions of like, Robbie, do you believe in God? Do you think Beyonce's hot? Those kind of questions.
And the other question, do you think there's ever been a child that's aspired to be Psy?
Not just like the next Psy.
Like Gangnam Style Psy.
Yeah, just Psy. And we're not talking about a Korean kid because that makes more sense. We're talking about some kid from Utah or something like that. Is there a picture of that kid when he's 10 that his mum will bring out to photos? It'll be the most interesting part of his entire existence because the rest of it, let's be honest, it'll just be potato picking. It'll be that, and then for a brief period of his time he aspired to be Psy.
Yeah, I reckon there was I really think that no kid has ever aspired to be him. Like, they might have loved the dancer a bit, but I can't imagine that.
Well, you couldn't be more wrong.
Because there is.
Because
Robbie wanted to be Psy! Do the dance, Robbie!
It's like you're masturbating. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop that. I hate that dance when you start doing that. You look like a robot. I hate it. You didn't want to be you would have been like 18, 19 years old when that song came out, mate.
Yeah, we just wanted you to say yes so we could do it as a celebratory dance, but you didn't, so we had to improvise.
we did have to improvise there, unfortunately, but...
Oh my god, that dumb dance. Did he do the dance for you when you were sleeping over at 2 a.m?
No, because we just agreed he didn't have to do the dance.
We were too scared to get out of bed.
It wasn't a sleepover of choice. It was a sleepover of demand.
Yeah,
it was not a celebratory moment at all.
Wow, that was really cool though, Robbie. That was great. Thanks.
That's
I love the live music. All right, let's move on to Goosebumps.
Okay.
Tom,
halfway through the cake, halfway through the cake.
He got momentarily distracted from his goal in life. Robbie's dancing to Psy, but he's straight back into the thick of it. Big hearts, hard to kill.
So people decided to do the experiment. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, so, you make your choice on Facebook. It's Goosebumps Choose the Scare, for anyone that doesn't know.
Yep.
Man, I've just realised how casual we have gotten with the pod. Now, I've seen a lot of pornography in my life.
Great
We've got it to the point where it's just like the Ricky Lake show. Don't you think? It's just like, tell me your dirtiest secret. What is it? But this pornography I haven't seen, but a friend of mine told me about it at high school, where there is Ron Jeremy having sex with someone, and on top of her is a cake, and while he's having sex with her, he's eating the cake at the same time.
Oh my god.
Tom is having his cake and eating it too at the moment. This is his Ron Jeremy moment. He's doing the thing he loves most in life and eating a cake, and he doesn't care. It's as natural to him as watching television at this point, and I salute that. You're a brave man.
I feel sick.
Keep eating.
No doubt.
Shh. Tubbies don't talk. Tubbies chew. Okay, if you
say so.
Anyway, let's all get scared by Dr. Eek.
Okay, you give in. We'll do it. What do we have to do? Dr. Eek just smiles slightly. Then he motions for you to follow him. This way, he orders. He leads you down a long hall with doors on both sides. He stops short at a door painted green. What's in there? You whisper to Sam. I don't know, Sam says. Some kind of experiment, probably. Yeah, probably, you think. Until Dr. Eek pulls open the door. Hey, it's a rest room, you cry. Here, Dr. Eek says, handing you a bucket and a mop. Clean up. Clean up, you exclaim. Correct, Dr. Eek says. Floors. Sinks. All of it. I want it all scrubbed and spotless before you leave. Then,
Robbie, is Dr. Eeks a chimp?
He's not a chimp yet.
not yet, no.
I think the kid's going to become a chimp. I have a feeling.
Then he marches out of the room. Clean sinks? He wants you to clean sinks? Then you and Sam glance around. Weird, you mutter. Look at those sinks. They're so high, Sam exclaims. They're almost 8 feet off the bloody ground. I wonder what kind of guy needs a sink that tall, you ask. An instant later, the door opens. A humongous 12-foot-tall kid, a kid your age, stomps into the restroom. Hi, he says in a booming voice. Then he notices you staring at his height. Yeah, I know, he groans. I'm a freak. Dr. Eek did this to me, but you guys are lucky. You get to clean sinks. Whatever you do, don't do the raster experiment. Clean sinks, you think again. Hey, gladly, any day. And when you're done, you can wash your hands of this whole creepy mess. The end.
Did we get out of it?
Oh.
That was lackluster.
So what we chose to not do the experiment.
Safe is good.
Yeah, we
Safe is
won.
good.
We won, yeah.
No, we decided to do whatever. If we chickened out, we wouldn't have finished it.
We would have done the experiment.
How did we get to that point where it's you either chicken out or you do the dishes and that's the end? There's no exciting... there was nothing scary in this.
It was pretty bad.
You want to do some chores for free? You're a good person. R.L. Stein approves of that.
Yeah, I was waiting in a doctor's office until we got called in, and then we just cleaned some dishes.
Let's call it what it is. Shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think we can all agree there.
Yeah.
But let's continue next week.
Okay.
Dr. Eek.
Okay, I'll chicken out next week.
All right.
Good.
Now we're going to be doing something very important.
Maybe we just missed something.
This segment is so important. It's a public service announcement. It's called the VPSA, the Very Public Service Announcement.
Imagine an underline on the word very, because that's a really good way to describe this. Tom, what is it? I forgot.
Very Public Service Announcement. Everyone listen very carefully, please.
Let's get peppy.
It's about...
This is play for that. It's 30 minutes in.
Yeah, you resigned yourself to a shit pod.
And it feels fine.
Okay.
The power of meditation. To be okay with your mediocrity.
You are great. Okay.
In your own way.
All right, so, Robbie, you have been asking a lot of ladies out around FBI for coffees lately.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but everybody's been sending around an email saying that you are a quote-unquote sex pervert.
Yeah. So, you have been kind of named as the local predator around here. Okay.
Because you are the golden dragon. Of course you're going to be the top dog.
Yeah, it's your
God.
den,
You know?
Robbie.
Yeah, it's creepy, and what we want to say is that we want you to continue this behaviour, not go back on it.
Yeah.
We want you to become even more of a sex pervert.
So we have a surprise for you, Robbie, and a surprise for one lucky lady out there. Robbie, you have a admirer from FBI, and you know who she is, and she knows who you are.
It's a fact. Sort of. I don't think you do from your confused expression, but some of that sentence is a fact.
Some of it.
We don't know which parts. We're very confused, but we're sure that some of it is.
So
Look, that's all we can tell you.
So that's all. Yeah, I don't actually know how we're finished in this part, but yeah, we just want you to know that.
Okay.
And what we wanted, and we know that you think that this person's attractive, because when we were walking out of the boardroom once and we walked past the photographs of everybody there, I remember you saying that, oh, she's pretty, and it's somebody from in this studio that we know has been trying to contact Robbie, and we're giving you the opportunity to do it now.
That's right. So we're giving you 1 minute in full, no less, and no more, exactly a minute, to pitch yourself to her. This is like that dating game where she's on one side.
This is coffee on speed minus the coffee.
Yeah. So you need to just say why she should go out with you.
Yeah.
She's listening right now.
Yeah.
This
is an improved, faster, more efficient method of your classic, like patented line of, "Hey, do you want to get a coffee?" This is Robbie's espresso.
Yeah.
This minute that you've got to write. Got
So
to
it's
keep
a
it tight,
full
keep
minute.
it short,
Minute.
keep it
A
full
tight
power.
minute, tight minute.
You know, this is your audition. She's going to put herself on the line by contacting you if she's impressed. And the only way you're going to impress her is that we found out from previous pods, it's almost impossible to talk for 30 seconds by yourself without relying nervously and glancing at your peers. And we're just going to stare back at you stony-eyed. We're going to be the statues at the beginning of Spirited Away that look at us with that kind of ooh, you're in for a treat.
Yeah,
Look,
so we're
gonna be
giving you the
that
courtesy of a whole minute. So ready, set, go.
So I don't. All right.
This is Eating Inky Minute.
Okay.
We're not going to interrupt from this point.
So hey, how you going? I only know what Tom and Jordan have told me, but sure, let's go on a coffee. I'll tell you about myself. My name's Robbie. I've lived in Sydney for a while. I've lived in England and New Zealand before. I've been to Hungary at one point. I did some tobogganing in Hungary at one point with a good friend that I had in England, and that was kind of fun. I've been indoor skiing. I used to play ice hockey. I'm a great passer in sport. Generally, I'm considered good at passing.
Yeah, that's a minute. Yeah, you made it,
I
Robbie.
like long blacks.
Good on you,
Yeah.
Robbie, by saying and then breathing out. We'll count that as a word. you just scraped over the minute mark. Well
Wait,
done.
was that a minute?
Yeah.
Did you lie in that minute? Have you been to Hungary? Tobogganing in Hungary?
Yeah, I did. When I was 9.
Oh, nice. All right. So that fits
Filled
into
with
your
interesting
minute
travel
of pitch.
stories.
I don't know why. I
That's like a priority of your. If you could sum your life up in a minute, that goes into it. That makes it.
I honestly, that just popped in there, so I thought I'd say it.
Yeah, no, I think it's.
I don't know.
It worked.
You
You
guys
filled up
didn't
the
give me
minute.
any time to prepare this.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was interesting nonetheless. That's
Okay.
kind of.
So
Right.
do you think, don't say her name into the microphone because we have to bleep it for legal reasons, but do you think that you know who this secret admirer is? That she isn't necessarily a secret admirer, she hasn't sent us any information saying that, but from the picture that you were looking at, you could tell that she was interested in the photo and specifically you.
Just
you could see it in her
how
eyes.
she was looking back at you from the photo.
Yeah, I guess you could, yeah. I guess you could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement. You have a crush on Robbie.
If you like what you heard, ask him out.
We know you're listening.
All right.
It's so vague. There's so much, such a vague feeling about that one. I don't know what.
All right. Now we're
Yeah, it was
talking
very
about.
confusing, but I felt really comfortable at the same time with the chaos that was that last second. If this was a Warhammer army, it would be Skaven. Ooh, you thought I was going to say chaos. All right. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Nice.
And second
Yeah, Robbie
high
as well.
five,
Yeah.
you're down to a third of the cake.
Yeah. I've been slowly
Might not
working
have to
my
show
way
your
through.
skinny ass, but come on, it's a great way to finish the pod. Show us your skinny ass anyway.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, oh, wait.
And finish the cake.
All right, how about we do now the song? I'll do the song. Okay,
All
so
right.
now I'm going to tap a song for Jordan and Tom, and they're going to try and guess
Yes.
what the song is.
And then I'm going to tell you.
This is such shambles.
No, there's
God,
going to be
this sucks. All right, go on.
slightly more interesting than that in the way that a TED Talk or any of those books that aren't in the self-help section but are pretty much the same information as the self-help section that are in the psychology section. But it's instead of having a picture of somebody in a successful suit pointing at you being like, you could be me, it's just a picture of some brain that was that's like in a jar or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's like a clay model of that. There's a piece of information in that I think you'll find, Tom, interesting. And I think that most people that are listening to this pod won't.
Okay.
All right, Robbie. Let's hear it.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
That's so good. Robbie's last-ditch attempt to hoping that we're going to guess this song right.
Trying to tell us with his eyes.
raise his eyebrows. He thought that it had to. Sadly, it didn't. I've got no idea.
Yeah, what was it?
Damn it. Dun, 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 dun.
And you know why that is?
Ah, nice.
So you thought that we were going to guess this, right? That's why you picked it.
Yeah. I thought it was quite recognisable. So
Well, it's not.
melodic rhythm.
Yeah, no. I just didn't know. I
Right.
couldn't. Anyway, go on.
And the reason that is, Tom, is because apparently you doing this, beating out whatever it is with your hands, that you will be thinking that tune in your head. It is physically impossible for you not to do it. Try it. I bet you'll be pleasantly surprised. You can't not think the tune. But the thing is that while you're thinking that, it's so obvious in your head that you're thinking, surely, come on, this is so easy.
Yeah.
The success rate is that most people, when they're doing the tap, think that they've got a 50% chance of permitting the song to other people's ears, of conveying the song to other people's ears. In reality, it's 2%.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
That's really cool. I can completely believe that.
Yeah.
And so it
Did anyone at
proves-
home get that? Did anyone at home guess it?
Comment below.
Yeah, I was waiting for a response. Did anyone get that?
It's Dora the
Tom
Explorer.
is
someone
a
can answer back.
natural host for Play School. Just always
Yeah, you
asking
guys get
questions straight into a camera, never getting an answer. And that's all right. We're on at 2 p.m. I'm not really embarrassing myself. Mums are forgiving, kids are too. But it proves something very interesting about psychology, which is that when you know a piece of information, you think that everybody else should know that piece of information. So when you're conveying your ideas to everybody else, you always have to remember to keep it as simple and as tight as possible, because nobody ever does. I think the only reason why I think that is because I do that all the time, and it's pretty much, I don't know, I've still managed to salvage a living out of doing exactly that. So I think I'm going to steer the course. I'm going to ignore the advice on this.
Yeah, for someone that
psychological proof.
Someone that really struggles explaining ideas, and it's your job. Okay, so
Don't get better at every job. Sometimes you just get better at being crappy.
all right, more money than
Sense.
sense. Jordan, you've had a interesting night with Ali, who pod listeners would know, and Ali's Pakistani mate, right?
Rich Pakistani mate that sold everything he has just to get citizenship here.
Really? How expensive is it?
Yeah, a real life queue jumper. What?
Wow.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love him. Now he obviously, because he came from the absolute elite in Pakistan, the ruling elite. His dad was one of the most celebrated bankers in the country. The military rules everything, but the banks are below them. But obviously he's around a bunch of very influential people. There is one man so incompetent, so lazy, he doesn't deserve a single penny of the money that he has, but it doesn't matter what he does because he just has so much money in a bank that it just constantly is accumulating huge amounts of interest. So he cannot screw up. It is impossible for him to screw up. His wealth, this is a very cartoony level of, this is more cartoony than Robbie Simpson's reference, Mr. Burns. There is nobody I've ever heard of that is more of an absurd rich figure than this man. The investments that he's made are insane. He's put no effort or thought into them, and so that's why I was wondering if you guys can guess them first. What are some of the things that this guy has done? I bet you won't be able to guess how insane they are because they're inconceivable to the imagination. That's how obscene these investments are.
What do you reckon, Robbie?
He introduced Zambonis
Don't know what that is.
to Pakistan. They're the things that clean the ice rinks. Those big kind of tractor things.
Oh, what a terrible investment. It could be good. I'm sure people have made a lot of money out of them, but what a weird choice. It's like investing in like foreign, like in like films or something like that.
Yeah, pretty zany thing for him to do. Expensive and zany. So
expensive and zany. That's true, but we're talking expensive and dumb.
Oh, okay.
Super stupid.
But
that is probably stupid as well. So Robbie, good.
Try to fund.
You thought of something dumb.
Fund a mission to the sun. A manned mission to the sun.
All right, Tom, you've ruined the segment. You didn't take this segment that I didn't want you to take seriously, and now I'm seriously regretting that.
What? That's possible, maybe.
All right. What about he tried to mutate an animal of some kind? Put a lot of money into scientifically mutating.
Guys, you've got to think like Sherlock for this, all right? We've given you the clue that he's incredibly lazy. So I'm just going to tell you,
He tried to start a Pakistani Disneyland.
That's getting there.
Oh,
very close.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. To give you one example of this family and their obscene wealth. So they're from a point in their line of heritage where they don't know where the first rich guy was in their heritage. They've just all been rich for, since their great-great-great-grandfather. Incredibly wealthy people. And so they're at the point now, a really good example would be that there was a huge property boom in Pakistan, the likes of which no one has ever seen. Just absolute skyrocketing figures, kind of like their version of Sydney's prices now. This was their period. In that period, when it was at the absolute height, because they don't even look at the papers, they're that lazy. At the absolute height of this property bubble, when everyone was saying this is a bubble and it's about to burst, they went from a mansion to a bigger mansion. They bought the biggest mansion in Pakistan during the absolute height of property prices in all of Pakistani history. And it didn't even fix that.
Did you just spit on the ground, Robbie? Did you just spit in FBI's studio?
Why did you do that?
What the hell? Explain what you just did quickly.
Oh, every single time. They always say, they're always sending us emails being like, I know it was you. You were the one that screwed up my fee, weren't you? Admit it. Yeah, well, this time we actually did do something bad.
I did it on my bag. It's fine.
What?
There was definitely obviously residue that went on.
I thought it was like a good sort of crescendo to that story where somebody spits with laughter kind of thing.
All right, keep going, Jordan. I'm really sorry about it.
Being sarcastic, right?
No?
Yes, you.
Oh my God! Look at his eyes. Look at those eyes.
What?
Oh, sorry, it's not the
helping
Mighty
out.
Boosh, you hipster.
I don't
Go watch
like
the
Mighty
Mighty Boosh.
All right, we're cutting this out.
No, what?
Why?
No,
Because
please
you've got
don't.
the power?
Yeah, come on,
Fair
man.
enough. Good point. I do the same.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Please leave it.
All right. So anyway, he was okay. So that in that period as well, during the property boom, they bought the biggest mansion, didn't make a dent in their wealth.
Right.
They also, at the very height of the bubble, bought a skyscraper in the middle of Karachi. So this is the kind of money, right, that like most of Donald Trump's life, if he invested in a skyscraper all through the years of the 80s Wonder Boy and the 90s Power Broker, if he invested in a skyscraper and it absolutely tanked at the end of a property bubble, it would ruin him. That's the kind of money we're talking about, right? Maybe you could sustain a skyscraper loss or two now, but back then,
Trump
like
Tower.
the amount of wealth that you would need for that not to impact your life at all.
Yeah.
The property boom burst. Nobody is in that skyscraper now. It is an empty shell of a building. They don't even put electricity into it because it's just too expensive. And it it did not impact their wealth at all. They're that wealthy, right? They were saying afterwards of like, oh God, this is terrible. Money's going to be tight, guys. Ali walks to their house. The oldest son has bought like the most pimped out, expensive car you can buy in Pakistan with all of the foreign taxes put over the top of it. He has that car.
Oh my God.
He's walking going, oh my God, is that the line XXX, whatever it was. And while he was walking into the door, the other brother was walking out going, hey man, I'm just going to go get the line XXXL. You want to come with me? And he was buying another one of those. It was
Oh my God.
well. He, okay, so what you need to know about this is that they're just the obscene amount of they are just complete and utter wastes of space. They have absolutely no marketable skill at all. Thank God they have piles of money.
Where's the money from? It's just like
nobody knows
or something.
Yeah, it must have been
War
from
money.
thousands of years before. It's just been there for so long they don't know why they're rich. They've just been degenerate. It's kind of like, you know how they're always saying that the third generation screws up the wealth? This wealth is so massive that it just cannot be destroyed. It's that much money we're talking about. He okay, so the dad, who's always trying to dabble in things to make money, but has never made money in his entire life. He's nothing to him is a business venture. It's more or less just a hobby with a shitload of money attached to it behind it, and it always fails. He was to the level where he was telling he's told his parents, he's forcing his older brother, who's slightly more together than the younger brother, do something with this wealth. I will give you unlimited capital, whatever you can think of, just do something. You don't have to make a profit, it doesn't matter. I'm just sick of you doing nothing with your life, right? So he invests in a dairy farm in Pakistan. Pakistan is not the kind of place where you milk dairy cattle, right? You could do beef cattle there, but dairy cattle need really lush green pastures, that kind of a place, right? So he has to export heaps of water from one of the poorest sections in Pakistan that he could just do because he just bribes government officials or something. We're talking heaps of money to just get to the point where he can house 50 dairy cattle, which is a huge investment in itself, just buying the dairy cattle even in an area that is fertile and can sustain cows.
Why would he
just
choose
make
that?
the desert green.
Green.
He's set it all up. He's not going to do anything. He's just hired a community of people to do it for him. And then his dad says, we're all moving to Dubai. It's too scary. We're going to have to leave Sanjeev. Sanjeev, you're going to have to come with us. And then he's just I just set up the dairy farm. And his dad literally said into the phone, fuck it. And so they just left this dairy farm by itself.
Oh my God.
They don't know what happened to it. They don't visit it anymore. They live in Dubai now. They've never seen the dairy farm finish.
Oh my
It's just
God.
there, they
That's
sort of own
incredible.
it, but it's just
Yeah.
the cows have probably been stolen by peasants now. It's they don't know what happened to this place. It's that level of wealth. The son did move back. The rest of the family still lives in Dubai, but the son did move back. And to get you to this level, it's probably better to tell you this part of the story first. Then so the son's even worse, right? So he's saying exactly the same thing to the younger son, who's 27, and this guy, just because he's rich, goes around in the most expensive car in Pakistan. This would be the most annoying thing in a third world country ever, and still finds this amusing. You would expect this out of an 18-year-old or something, but he's like, bro, do you want to go peasant tipping? And it's the same as cow tipping, essentially. You're just driving in a car, and then there's some poor guy on a bike getting to work, and then he just gets out of the car and goes, and pushes him over while the car is moving, and they just run away going, and then one time Ali said to Ali, he said, Ali, should I throw an egg at him? Should I throw an egg at him? He was like, no, don't throw it. I'm throwing an egg. In the most expensive cars, zooming off with rap music.
Oh my
The most
God.
annoying thing ever. This guy.
It's a playground to them.
Yeah. Yeah, the richest playground is Karachi.
Yeah. Oh,
He's going to, the dad's saying the same thing, do something with your life, right? This guy's so lazy. He's been so spoon-fed his entire life that he goes, okay, this is what we're going to do. We'll just use this other mansion that's really close to our house as an office. It's a mansion. It's not like a little office space like yours, Tom, where the toilet doesn't work and hasn't for 3 months and you have to beg the plumber to come back. This is like Buckingham Palace, basically. It's just turned into his office space because they never use the house. No one lives there. He's just made it his office. He hires his other stoner dropkick friend who's also a squillionaire as well, and they just sit around, they set up the office, they put in desks and things, they don't do anything, they get everybody else to do it, and then they just go, what do we do now? That was their phase was to set up the office, and then the dad was saying, you actually have to start a business, you don't just open up an office. Okay, fair enough.
oh my God.
So
They're 3-year-olds.
In this environment, okay, this was in an economic downturn. This was after the bubble burst that that they just go into all this frivolous expenditure, right? in that environment where the job market is always savage in Pakistan, obviously they have terrible wages, even in points of economic upturn, right? But this was like in a bull market, right? A bear market. And so there was all these financial consultants that were out of work, and so they just, like, the first guy that walks in, it's like they were just doing, like, job interviews, but the first guy that walks in, they're just like, hey, man, do you want, like, double the money that is on the market at the moment and work for us? And he's just like, yeah, sure, of course. And he takes the job, and then he says, so what's my job? And then he says, okay, so basically we want you to think of ideas for money and tell us how much it is, and then we'll just pay it and do that. So he paid somebody to think of ideas for him for a business. He couldn't even think of the idea this is how lazy this man is.
God.
He paid someone to think of the idea for
Well, that's an
him.
investor, essentially.
During this time, while he's in this, while this business is running, he rings up his friend. He gets like, there's like this special prey. Like his big problem in life is that he doesn't have a girlfriend. He's so lazy. And there's certain prayers that you can easily access on Google. You just read them, and then apparently you have a dream of who your girlfriend should be.
Right. Okay.
He pays some peasant to read the prayer and memorize it. And then he says it to him, and he's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't want to remember. This is too much stress. And then he rings up his mum and says, Mum, can you, like, listen to this prayer and then dream about who I should marry? He's so lazy, he won't even do that. When, on hearing this, like, a week later, the consultant who was getting double the amount of money in a bear market where he cannot get another job, that guy quits. That guy quits this business and the business collapses.
Oh my
The
God.
dad says, yeah, you tried, fair enough. The next thing is, he says to him, how about you just retile the bathroom? He just really sets his levels very low after that. Can you please you don't have to change a toilet, you don't have to change a sink, let's just do baby steps. All you have to do is change the tiles. Even his friend comes over and says, come to Dubai, we'll have a great time in 2 weeks. He says, I can't, I've got to do this thing. It takes like a day, right? It takes a day to go to the hardware store and say, I want those tiles, put them in my bathroom. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months and he still hasn't done it.
Man alive. Yeah.
Could we get that prayer, the girlfriend prayer, and read it to Robbie and see what happens?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Would you like to do that, Robbie?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Good, next segment.
All right, so we're going to be... certain comments were made last week about the trip that we're going to Uluru next week, so that should be really fun. Jeep was going to be taking us, but comments were made and they are no longer going to be...
It was Tom's fault. It was 100% Tom's fault. He lost us the Jeeps.
Look, it wasn't made clear whose fault it was, but we're going to be now...
You could go back onto you replay the audio. It's still available on friendlyjordies.podbean.com. You can still hear it now. It's clearly Tom.
Well, you know who didn't hear it? Zuzu.
And we'll be paying them out and losing them soon as well.
Yeah, so Zuzu, or however you say their name, they're going to be giving us 2 cars, and we're going to be driving into the sunset in Zuzu cars.
How do you spell it?
And I'm very exactly.
I don't know, but they're giving us cars, and we're going to the
2
Ezra.
lovely cars. Very excited.
They're also not going to be covering the petrol, the cheap.
Guys, we should be really, really careful about this because we actually this is like a broad string of miracle that we were able to pull this out of our ass. Why are we making fun of them?
Whatever, man.
But I've
There's no
also got to
petrol.
add, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yes. Shame on you for doing that. Thanks for giving us 2 fully loaded cars, though. But the other thing that I must say that is also probably going to be interpreted as a payout, so I mean it in the best way possible, is when I told my friend that Azusa was sponsoring us, he says, don't they just make trucks? Are we actually are we driving in trucks? Is that what's happening now? Are we driving like a fruit truck to the Uluru?
I think they're like 4-wheel drives. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know how to
Do
say
they
the
make
name.
those?
I don't know how to spell their name.
Isuzu?
Well, we should probably Google that so we can talk about all the quality features of them on the pod, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Go Isuzu. If you make trucks, that's great. If you make cars, that's better.
Yeah, buy a Zuzu. And also, we have a comment of someone that said they're going to give us $4.20 if we didn't mention their name. So
Samuel Troy.
Samuel
Shout
Troy.
out.
Where's your money?
You owe us $4.20.
Thanks for listening, mate. Good
Seriously,
to
you
have you on
actually
board.
do owe us $4.20.
So personal message, your address, and we'll sort that out. All right, so last segment. I didn't finish the cake.
Are you serious? How much is left? Let's have a look.
Yeah, still about a third.
Come on, I can't see it.
Tom said it was going to be easy to finish this cake, and I said it was going to be hard. Well, Tom, what have you got to say for yourself now?
can I
Eyes
try
too
some?
big for your stomach? Why is that? Because you've got a small ass. You're not a fat ass. You're a little ass.
Come on, let's see the spectacle.
All right, I'm going to go outside and...
So what's happening in this segment is Tom is walking outside into the producer's booth where we have a full bird's eye view. And Robbie, I'm going to have to ask you to stop eating the cake at the moment because we're going to need your eyes.
Yeah. I'm looking at
Tom's going to come out. He's going to moon us from the outside, and we're going to comment into the pod. And then we're going to comment about whether or not his ass is skinny or not. He's going to come in and guess what our judge was. And if he's correct, nobody's allowed to make fun of you in the comments section. E-bullying, it's all right to, call him whatever else you want, and you have pretty much everything under the sun at this point. But you can't call him a skinny ass if he guesses what our verdict is.
Okay, here he goes. He's
Pulling down
undoing
his
the...
pants.
He's doing it now.
It was very easy.
Okay.
Pull down. More. You're going to have to show us more.
There it is.
Oh, there
Okay.
is not much there. There is really not much there. He doesn't even have that little fold that most asses have at the end.
It's not as strange as I thought it was going to be, though.
That's true, but
is
it's very
true.
childlike.
It is childlike,
It's
yeah.
not a... It's... Oh, okay, he's back.
Here he is. How's that? Exposing yourself in the public
Yeah, it was
space.
all right. There's some soothing FBI music playing, and
Oh, lovely.
Was anyone outside, or is it too late?
no one's here, so that was good as well.
Well, we came to... Oh, so now do we tell him what we think, or...
No, Tom tells us what he thinks.
Oh, okay,
And
yep.
if he's right, then no one's allowed to say that he has a small ass. And if he's wrong, even if he doesn't have a small ass, you're allowed to say he's a small ass as much as you want. And not only do I encourage it, I make it mandatory. Don't listen to the next pod until you say that Tom has a small ass if he's wrong.
I think I have a normal-sized ass.
Robbie, your thoughts?
We actually did come to that conclusion, didn't we?
No, we didn't come to that conclusion specifically, but it's close enough. You
Yeah.
are not allowed to say that Tom has a small ass. What a finite end to this pod.
Suck shit. I still have no discernible features.
That was a great comment on that Instagram, by the way. That was very funny. Somebody drew a picture of Jordan exposing himself. And somebody said... and somebody wrote, ha ha ha, she had to write Tom on Tom's hat because he has no discernible features. And I lost it. Cheers.
We all did.
Yeah.
Even Tom laughed at it, but afterwards, you could see that there was a lot of pain in his eyes because, again, that's happened to him all throughout high school as well. Was the thought where they walked around in society and culture class going there, okay, so what would you define yourself? Oh, I think I'd define myself as a jock, and what would you? I'd be the class clown. Tom, what do you think? I don't think of myself as anything. And then the teacher said, yeah, neither do I.
And then, does anyone else have any ideas? No.
Oh my God.
And then the bell went.
That actually did happen. All right, and that's how we're going to wrap up this very relaxed, calm, crappy pod.
On top of that, you could also write in the comments box if you want that Tom has a childlike ass. That is acceptable. Both of us did agree to that. Where's your hair? Where is the hair on your arms?
Really? I've heard of
burn it off.
ass.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard the opposite.
Huh. Childlike. Yeah, we didn't see any hair. But childlike.
Childlike man ass. Much like that boy that was going to be in a Little Hercules movie because he had amazing six-pack and biceps for a 5-year-old. And they were going to make him Little Tarzan before they found out that he was clearly using steroids that he was getting fed by his Czechoslovakian dad, and at that point it felt too exploitative. Good night, everybody.
Thanks to FBI. Tune in next week for more fun times.